Newton's Apple is made possible by a grant from 3M, the company where creative people find ways to make our world even better. 3M, innovation.
Hi, I'm Dave Huddleston. Welcome to Newton's Apple and our salute to engineers. Engineers use science and technology to solve problems and turn ideas into reality. They contribute to our safety, our comfort, and our fun. Take a baseball stadium, for example. Now, what kind of science or engineering could there be in a sports facility? Peggy Knapp went to find out. Now, let's see how engineering contributes to keeping the roof over the baseball players' heads.
Welcome to Newton's Apple. If you're curious about science, technology, or the world around you, you've come to the right place. We're here to answer your questions and investigate a few of our own. Now, how many of you are sports fans, huh? All kinds of us are sports fans. Well, our friend Jack Netlin, who teaches high school physics, is kind of a sports nut. In fact, he'll go to almost any length to get out to see a baseball game. So, when he recruited our field reporter Peggy Knapp for this science story on the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I was a bit skeptical. I mean, what kind of science would he and Peggy find in a dome stadium? I figured they were just looking for an excuse to catch some baseball, sample a few hot dogs, you know. Turns out that the story is filled with lots of hot air. 60 million cubic feet, to be exact.
The Metrodome is one of only a few domed stadiums where Major League Baseball is played, and today's game should be a good one. Jack said he'd meet me inside, and I hope he has some good seats. I'm so excited. I can already hear the roar of the crowd. Where is everybody? Jack, is that you?
Peggy! Peggy, it's me over here! Right over here, Jack, yeah, it's me! Come on down, meet you down the field, we'll talk!
Jack?
Yeah.
Where is everybody?
Well, we're a little bit early, but I wanted to be sure we got some good seats, you know. Besides that, there's a ton of physics in this building.
Is there?
Oh, yeah. In fact, the roof right there, 290 tons.
That thing weighs 290 tons?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Yep.
How much area do you suppose that covers?
Well, it covers about 10 acres. I'm glad you asked.
I figured you'd know.
Yeah. That's a big area.
Yeah. What keeps it up there, you suppose?
Air.
Air?
Air.
Air?
Air holds it up. Yep. Oh, of course, you got to know how to use the air.
Well, I suppose there's that.
Yeah, because if you don't use it right, it doesn't, you know. So, in fact, I could show you how that works if you'd like to take a look.
Could ya?
Yeah.
Is there a place we can see?
Yeah, let's take a look. First, we'll go over where the wind goes out.
There's one of those doors. If you push real hard on that side over there, you'll see what I mean here with the air.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, this is really pretty hard wind, isn't it? But yeah, the air in here is 5.2 pounds per square foot higher pressure than out here. It goes from the higher area to the lower pressure area.
And it is!
Yeah, it sure
Quickly.
does. Yeah.
How did the air pressure get higher on the inside?
Well, actually, they use fans.
Like baseball fans?
No, different. I'll show you over there if you
All
want.
right, let me get my hat.
Oh, get mine too, will you? Please.
Yep, here it is.
Oh, fans,
Yeah.
like big fans.
Yeah, that's what I meant. A big fan, yeah.
Those blow a lot of air.
A lot of air, like 100,000 cubic feet every minute.
I have no concept of how much air
It's
that
big.
is.
If you imagine, it's just like blowing up a balloon, right? So if we imagine a balloon like this, that is 60 feet in diameter, 60 feet, that's 100,000 cubic feet.
How much air is in the dome? How much volume?
Well, the dome itself, now we're talking big. It's like 60 million cubic feet.
Which is?
Which is like 600 of those 60-foot balloons. It's big.
It's huge.
It's big, yeah.
How many fans do they use?
Fans, 20 of them. They got 20 around here.
They use 20 fans blowing all the time.
Not blowing all. Just 3 are necessary all the time.
3 fans keep this thing up?
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Now, sometimes, like when people are going out, you know.
And the doors open
Yeah,
up.
then you have to kick in some more. So they got to have enough to take care of that.
Well, what happens if, say, the pressure outside changes all of a sudden? And
good thought. Now you see, you have to compensate for that, and there's a control room that takes care of that.
There's a place.
There's a place.
Could we go see the?
Let's
the
look
place?
at this place. Yeah, it's a real neat place. There are 3 gauges that are around the different places in the dome, and then this dial averages the readings of those 3 and tells these people exactly the difference in pressure between outside and inside.
So that's how they get the measurement of the pressure.
That's how they get the measurement, yep.
Well, what happens if the pressure outside changes?
Which way?
Say the pressure outside goes up.
Well, if the pressure goes up outside, then it has to pump more air in from outside to increase the pressure inside, so we're still 5.2 pounds per square foot
And if
above.
it goes down?
Well, then it dumps air out, and then we have, again, 5.2 pounds difference.
So this thing automatically keeps the difference in pressure at 5.2.
5.2 pounds, that's right. Now, sometimes they have to be a little careful because if things change in a hurry,
Yeah.
well, then this responds too slowly for that.
Like what?
Well, like in 1986, for example, there was a time when there was wind outside, and the gauges said, oh, the pressure dropped outside, so it dumped air out, and now it got to be too little pressure on the inside, and so the wind blowing really hard, and it began to wave the roof a little bit, and so now you had people scurrying under things because it didn't look good.
I bet that was a little scary.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be there myself, but
No.
that did happen. So at that time, they had to go on manual control.
Oh, they can do this whole thing manually?
Absolutely, they can switch it to manually, and then they can respond a whole lot faster to whatever is happening out there.
Well, at least I feel confident the roof is going to stay up during the game.
Oh, absolutely.
And speaking of the game, Jack, shouldn't we go back and get our seats? Isn't it about time for the game to
Well,
start?
yeah, we could do that. Let's
Okay.
go. Mhm. Great seats, huh, Peg?
Yeah, Jack, exactly when does this game start?
Tomorrow. The game starts tomorrow.
Here, would you hold these things for me?
Okay.
I'll be back just
Okay.
a few minutes before the game actually starts, okay?
That's tomorrow.
I know.
Oh.